Jawhead. He is banned Matilda only so far. Typical Diggy ban. Still 100% ban ratio throughout the entire tournament.
100% banned, so no team has been able to play it so far?
Every single game it has been banned.
I mean, it's a risky pick. It really is. Like, you don't... It's scary to go versus, it really is, because the early game just gets completely messed up.
It's also a really big gamble to early pick it because he can be countered.
So it can be, yep.
Counter him,
so it's like a 50-50 really. And
Zane, you want to do play-by-play or analysis? Play-by-play is like the mid-fight casting. You call out what's going on. Analysis is like after the fight, you go through you diagnose.
I'd rather do the analysis, I think.
All right, I'll do the play-by-play then.
Sounds good.
Simpson's first picking. Interesting that AE did not ban Paquito or Alice. And they first picked Paquito.
There goes the Paquito pick. What do you think about? He got nerfed, Paquito, right? What do you think about him lately?
I did not see the nerf. Do you know what the nerf was?
Honestly, I don't, but I just know he got nerfed. And honestly, in ranked, I don't really feel his presence as much as, you know, I used to. But I'm pretty sure he still bullies his lane and usually wins his lane pretty much all the time, right?
Yep. Really has good lane dominance. It's just that during team fights, it's really easy to miss your skills if you tap it too quick or auto aim. And if you don't connect your stuff, you're not going to get your stacks, and you're basically going to be useless for the fight.
Basha and Eve coming out. The Basha is really good actually versus the Alice and the Esmeralda, and I know Cassandra has been playing this Eve quite a bit for Team Simpsons. So I'm not too surprised.
AE made a kind of mistake like that where it's like really easy to counterpick with Basha picking 2 healing side lane second pick.
I mean, they are very good picks though. The Alice and the Esmeralda, they're pretty solid picks.
True.
Maybe they would have been better off taking one of them and then the Basha, perhaps.
I think you'd be better off if you just take one of them and then kind of leave the other up in the air. Now we're on to the second ban for both teams.
Browser he was doing quite alright on that Ling pick.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. That's a ban? Makes sense. I don't know who plays Bene on Simpsons though.
Your team is banning.
Meta ban also makes sense. Just typical meta ban so far. Surprised they banned Nada though. Like it's a free lane counter pick if they wanted to do. Because I'm assuming it's Basha's side, but I'm not sure. Claude ban.
Your team is picking.
Okay. Raph is open still for some strange reason. I'm not sure why they banned Angela over the Rafaela.
I mean, Angela and Ling, I would say it's a better combo than Raphael and Ling, to be honest.
About that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They were scared about that combo.
Kind of.
Although I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen a single. Has anybody played Angela in this tournament yet?
No, I don't think a single.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But it's really popular in Asia right now. I see a lot of bans on Angela as well in the tournament.
Yeah, good thing. Yeah, he really shouldn't be playing Granger. I know he hovered it there because if he played Granger Wan into Ling, that's just a dumb draft. Honestly, picking Wan into Ling already is kind of, you know, kind of strange. Kind of seems a little suicidal. You think?
By the way, Pika, I think my microphone might be a little bit too high on your channel, is what I'm hearing. It might be. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. I'll turn it down a little bit then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank God they didn't pick Khalid again. Damien's main, Khalid, did not go well last match. They didn't need to ban it this time.
Seeing the Wan pick, I really don't know how that's gonna turn out here.
Honestly, yeah, completely agree. I feel like the WAM pick is very suicidal. Like, you got Esme gap close, you got Alice gap close, you got Ling gap close.
Wan actually is a really good lane counter to Alice, so maybe that's why they picked it. But with all the other people they have on their team in picks, Farsa, fucking Rafaela, Ling, it might be just a bit too difficult
A lot of
to really get
burst.
ahead. So wait, if I pan the map, does it pan the
doesn't
map for
pan the
everybody?
game. No,
So just
that's your
me.
own map.
Okay, good.
Eve gave me some free poke on Farsa there in the bush. Link starting his buff instead of lane, probably a better choice because he's versus 2 ranged in mid. Farsa and Raph both got stunned. Yeah, so Melee's gonna have pretty good prio just for getting, you know, scuttles,
Yeah, just going
And
over to
walking
the wave
around.
scuttle, straight to the jungle then right after.
considering how weak early game Ling is. It really just depends right now. Like, the early game is
Whose
really gonna
draft do you
depend on
like
how-
more, Nuggets?
I think AE has a much better late game draft, but if Simpsons can maybe play together as a team, because I think their comp is much better team fight wise rather than splitting.
I think I kind of agree. I like AE's draft a lot more. Even though they have the Basha to counter, I believe Granger's got his blue stolen, right? Yeah, looks like that.
Oh, who stole it?
You didn't see the Ling, I believe, took it. Yeah, Ling
I
took
did
their
not
blue.
notice that.
So now Granger's
Dang.
not even level 4 yet.
And Ling just hit 4. Granger's about to get 4 after this mid wave. Yet blue side still has a Simpson still has a slight gold lead. Farsa just used her bird to try and get a poke here. Granger stun. Ling going in. He died to got CC'd.
Nice,
He didn't
wow.
ult for some reason.
Granger ult goes through, but misses a few on the Rafaela. Still got the kill onto the Ling.
Yeah, that was really questionable Ling engage.
Yeah, didn't even have time to pop his ult.
He got
I think
stunned,
I think it was the Basha. I think Basha, right before he landed on him, I think he jumped in the air, stunned him for a while longer, and he just didn't have
Yeah,
time to react.
The 1.5, 1.5.
1.5 exactly, just like Dave taught us all. So that gives a free turtle to Simpsons, putting them in the lead by about 500 gold. Not a huge difference, but definitely not something to laugh about either. As Ling goes back to his blue buff, doesn't really want to contest it.
Farsa almost dying to the Eve poke. Ling going in the Basha. Remember, he still has ult because he didn't use it
Ooh,
earlier.
Ling does
but
get
he
the
just
kill.
Not use it now.
Raph a
Granger
little
seems
bit
to be on his
aggressive
own.
on the Granger. Being
Another blue
very...
buff for Ling?
No, they're just going to give it up. Because they probably heard that Wan was coming down. I think that was a good play, honestly, just retreating. Because if you look at Paquito as well, Paquito was ready to go and defend that. So I think the best case scenario was what AE just did and just left that blue. And not overcommit.
Farsa
Especially
forcing the
versus
flicker
a
here
Granger.
after Granger ulted. Still not recalling though, despite being half HP. Oh, now she is. Esme and Paquito lane seem to be going even, though Esme is down 300 gold somehow versus the Paquito when she has Avarice. That is pretty questionable. Not sure how that happened when Esme is a pretty good lane counter versus Paquito.
3 members of AE trying to pressure this Wan, but Simpson's realizing that and kind of just helping out Wan's weak early game. Getting up here, ready in case they dive.
Simpson's playing
Basha has to
considerably
pop the
better.
ult.
Considerably better this game than last game, the previous game. Hopefully they realized what they were doing wrong.
Oh, over at mid.
Granger?
Granger does get eliminated. Ling ulting onto the Basha, trying to roll away, and he actually does manage to escape, leaving the Eve all alone to fend for herself here. Ling has no blue, doesn't really want to commit too hard.
Eve
Just decides to retreat.
doing damage. So far, they're even gold. That gold seemed to have disappeared. despite them getting a kill there. Simpson's leading in a slight bit of gold. Looks like they're trying to set up turtle fight here. They have Prio on it. Granger is doing his blue buff while they're doing the turtle. They might get it. Farsa's trying to kill the Wanwan. Wanwan has a flicker to dodge the Farsa ult.
When it does end up surviving, but it looks like AE wants to take this turtle. Granger going through, doesn't really connect on anybody. Raz does get the retribution onto the turtle.
Raph and Alice both having a flicker there from being caught out.
Overall, a pretty close match, but honestly, I think I see a clear winner in the late game with the Alice, the Esmeralda, and the Farsa. Not to mention the Ling, and Granger doesn't really scale well. So if this does go late game, and that is how it's looking right now, it's not going to be good for Simpson.
And Wanwan getting picked under her tower.
AE pressuring that win with all their assassins and dive, just like they should be.
Bot lane, just like last game, a similar 1v1 game, with both being 0-0 still.
Having struggles versus this Esmeralda. Yeah, they couldn't even take the tower in a 2v1 scenario. That's because, you know, the tower buff, you really can't dive early game anymore.
Yeah, not to mention,
It's-
you know,
it's
someone
not-
tanky as they.
Yeah, you really can't bully side laners as much as you used to be able to. Because remember, we were having that meta where 4 people would go to a lane and just dominate that lane, take the tower in like 2 minutes. That never happens anymore because of all the changes to the game. And the meta
Eve
side
and
lane
Granger both just ulted, trying to kill the Farsa, both failed. Not enough damage.
didn't even have to pop the flicker. Wow.
They're trying to set up a gank dive on this Paquito here.
Yeah, I see that on the Paquito. Do not
Not
go
sure
for
if
it.
it's a good idea. Not a
Cutting
good
the
idea.
wave. We'll see if his team rotates over. Farsa
Farsa getting caught out again.
ulting just to clear the wave. That's
Ooh,
gonna defend mid
Granger
quite
going,
well.
Link going on the Granger after he gets poked by Farsa, killing both
Wow.
the
When
Eve
they're
and
trying
the
to get her
Granger.
ultimate, actually ends up killing Ryles there.
But Wanwan gets a shutdown on Ling. Farsa
Trying to
is
shift
getting hurt.
priority. Stunned by the Rafaela, a flicker comes out, and this Wanwan barely. Nah, she ended up dying. This
Farsa
is
trying to get an ult again.
this is not looking good for Simpsons right now.
Paquito killed Raph, but he's probably gonna die to the Raph passes. There he goes. Granger ulting.
Granger will finally coming in, actually juked by
Yes.
the Farsa flicker.
I mean, if you were looking there, Farsa almost flickered into it.
She kind of stood still too for a little bit. I think she
Yeah,
expected
I think
herself
she-
to die maybe. She might have
think
thought
she might
she
have
was
slipped.
dead, but she was there.
It was really funny.
Wow. A lot of kills coming in for AE. Just look at Ryle's score right now as well. 4 and 2 versus the Granger 1 and 2. Even though Granger has a way stronger early game, it's not really what you want to see right now.
Well, the Farsa has been setting up really well.
Farsa
with
is
the
doing
Ling.
good with her ultimates. And she's also baiting out a lot of skills because they keep trying to kill her, but they're never able to.
Indeed. Pack not really rotating as much as he should be. He's trying to force 1v1 lane versus an Esme when he's someone who
Alice
gets
and
lane
Ling starting
prio.
the turtle here. It doesn't look like it's going to be contested. It doesn't even look like Simpsons. I'm sure they know, but they just realize that they can't fight at this point. It's not a good situation. So they decide to give that up without contest.
Pack trying to
Bot
force the
lane now,
Esme,
we
but
see
no.
Paquito getting ganked. And Raz is able to secure the kill. Granger ult comes out, but so does the Ling ult. Ends up escaping with his life. Raph, just with that, all that movement speed, easily lets her team escape. Wenwen actually gets hit by the Raph. Flicker
Wenwen
comes in
dies
from
for
Raph.
the Raph.
Wow. Basha going down now as well. And they're
Double kill
still
for the
looking
Raph.
for more. Esme trying to dive. Triple kill onto the Rafaela. Are you kidding me? Nuggets, did you expect this from AE?
Nah, I went over that last game too. I really didn't expect them to do
That's
perform.
exactly. And they are. I don't understand. It really
Not
goes
in
to
the
show.
way-
It goes to show how different tournament is from ranked. Really.
Not in the way saying that they would be bad, but I was expecting more mistakes. They have been making not a lot of mistakes, but at the same time, Simpsons has been making way too many mistakes.
I mean, that's just the power of pressure when you're in a tournament, to be honest. You can change your mindset, you can start doing stuff you usually would never do. And
Awesome.
honestly, it's I don't see it as
Peak of life.
using AE at all.
And Wanwan has the flicker there, almost being two-shot by the Farsal.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Simpsons, especially now that they're freezing. 2 items there simultaneously picked up by AE's team. I mean,
Yeah,
this is
they're
just
not
not
gonna
looking
go.
good. Do you see any comeback into this match for Simpsons
No,
at
I
this
think
point?
it's over.
You
At
think
this
it's
point,
over?
I think it's over.
I would
They're just gonna wait
honestly,
for it.
I would have to agree with you there. I would have to agree that I think this match is just over.
If you take a look at bot
Unfortunately.
lane, oh, not anymore, but there were a lot of minions down there and basically was frozen for the last minute or so, Pack not being able to get any gold.
I mean, if you check the items, Wenwen just has 1 item.
Some all chat messages going on.
Red team has slain the Lord.
I don't understand that, but okay. Moving on. Moving on.
Like they're trying to call out something.
I don't
Let's
understand
not
totally.
delve into it. He is trying to say that he's being piloted, is right now.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna speak on that. I don't even know anything
That's why
about
I
that.
said
But anyways,
nothing wrong.
AE did end up taking the Lord there.
Game should end here. I don't see they're gonna win or be able to defend this. They don't have-
Honestly, yeah, with the 2 marksmen under tower, I mean, actually, Ryle's getting very low as to ult out. Didn't do much that team fight. Basha is
Basha
down.
died.
Granger is very low. Almost got killed by the Alice, but she couldn't quite reach it.
Juan ult just
Wenwen
tickling
doing
the
no,
Ezreal.
absolutely no damage. Nothing. That's 2 high grounds down. Lord on the base. Piquito trying to go in. Granger ends up falling. Piquito ends up falling as well.
And that should be game.
Yeah. Wow. So what do you think was the problem for Simpsons there?
I think the Farsa carried the game. They tried so hard to try and pick out the Farsa, but each time they were just wasting their skills and she never died. But Farsa just continuously, repeatedly just bursted their backline and nobody could punish her because they have no way to punish the Farsa who is a backliner.
I think
when they have no
I
attack.
think the double marksman pick was also a really poor idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mentioned that during the draft. Just
Not only the Wanwan, but the Granger as well. I mean, when you verse something like Esmeralda, Alice, and it's just too tanky for you, really. And
Farsa
you can
was
see
left-
that they weren't doing damage. If you check
Farsa
the
was
damage,
left-
both marksmen under 20% damage. It's not even their fault because they don't do damage versus that team.
Yeah, really should have noticed that Farsa was still up. The fact that they went double marksman there when Farsa was still up is just not a good idea.
Farsa completely dominated, yeah. She outranges Wanwan tremendously.
Congratulations to AE from moving on to the next round of the tournament. Thank you, Simpsons, for participating in this tournament.